Again, thank all of you for your presence today, and a number of you I have met with in my office before this hearing, and I'm grateful for those conversations. General Nordhaus and Lieutenant General Harder, the Army's recently announced Army Transformation Initiative. At what point did the Army integrate your feedback into development of the ATI concerning the Army National Guard and Reserve equities? Sir.
Senator Moran, thank you. Right from the beginning, the Army National Guard works incredibly closely with our Army, and I felt like Secretary Driscoll and General George and I also had discussions. So from at all levels, right from the very beginning, also asked General George to come out and speak to all the adjutants generals along the way and making sure that we're going back. And as we get to the future of a leaner, more capable force, we look forward to transforming with the Army at the same time at pace and speed so that our formations across the board, 8 divisions, 27 brigade combat teams are capable and ready to respond in the homeland or overseas as needed for our nation.
Thank you, sir. General Harder?
Senator, thank you for that question. We were nested with Big Army on the big ideas from the beginning as the Chief and the Secretary were working through this, and we continue now to work through the details. So our teams are nested with Component 1, and it's transformative, it's collaborative, and we're driving on end state to make the entire Army more lethal.
In regard to the future, working on it, continuing to work on it, with the Army no longer procuring gray Eagles, has the Guard been involved in discussions about other capabilities to fill that gap and provide the Army a deep sensing multi-domain capability?
Absolutely, Senator Moran. As we look at the Gray Eagles that was appropriated in 2023, those will be stationed in Arizona. And as we look to the future on other divisions receiving UASs, we're working very closely with the Army on what those systems will be in the future to bring that warfight capability to those adversaries where it's hard to get to, it's critical, but we need to have the right platform in the right place to be able to be over the joint force and make sure they can bring that critical information and capability to the warfight.
You expect the Guard to be continue to be engaged in that kind of activity? It's not going to go away, just going to be a different form?
Absolutely, Senator. As we look to the future, the different platforms, we'll have to work with industry, the defense industrial base, and with the Army very closely as we look over in Ukraine and other places in the world. UASs are a significant part. We have to be able to keep pace and really outpace. And the Air National Guard brings incredible innovation and capability to this space.
General Harder, in your best military advice, how will deactivating the 2 reserve ECABs affect reserve capabilities for future missions? And what capability gap does this divestment create?
You know, Senator, again, I've told the Chief as we discuss this and the Secretary, the United States Army Reserve exists, as in my opening statement, to support the total Army and the nation. We have a lot of capability in which we are the bulk of that capacity. Aviation is not one of those formations. We do use our aviation. I was just in Norway, where our aviation, Army Reserve aviation helicopters were delivering 3rd Brigade, 82nd Airborne Division on an air assault. And so we are and have been nested with our Compo 1 teammates. So will there be an impact? There will be. But we are continuing to work through that with the Army to mitigate. My number one concern right now is taking care of our aviators and their crews. So we have some very seasoned pilots, and so we're looking how can we partner with the Army National Guard, with my teammates in active duty, where they can fly active component aircraft. The key is to maintain, qualifications of our pilots, our aviators, our crew chiefs, and so that's what we're driving on right now.
In that regard, a recent RAND study shows that reserve component pilots are more experienced and cost-effective than active duty pilots. The study also recommends that the Air Force reevaluate its bed-down plans for the KC-46A to maintain an efficient balance between active and reserve components. General Nordhaus, best military advice, does the Air Force's current KC-46A basing plan adequately equip the Air Guard fleet to maximize the benefits highlighted in the RAND assessment?
Senator Moran, as we look at the critical capability of air refueling, it's needed by all of our combatant commands. here in Northcom as well, and then as we look at securing and defending the homeland. As we look at the KC-135s and the Air National Guard, certainly those need to be recapped in the future, and we look forward to working with the Air Force at the concurrent and proportional pace to be able to recapitalize those forces. As you know, MOB 7 will be identified in the fourth quarter of 2025 for that KC-46, and we look forward to that being announced. And then we also look forward to additional KC-46s, MOBs in the future as we work with Air Force on what future transitions look like for our air refueling fleet.
My time has expired, but while I have the gavel, I have one more comment. Senator Bozeman, I'll be recognizing you momentarily. I just wanted you, General Nordhaus, to highlight, I have an interest in the state partnership program. Give you the opportunity to highlight the importance of that program.
Thank you, Senator Moran. The State Partnership Program began back in 1993 with 12 nations and 12 states. And today we have 115 partners globally at 1% of the theater security cooperation. I was recently over in the Indo-PACOM theater and met with Timor-Leste. It's the latest democracy with Rhode Island. That partnership's only 3 years old, and it would seem like they're 30 years old in that partnerships. And so these partnerships globally create resiliency, they build partner capacity, and they build trust across the board. Our partners have also went into combat together, and as I look at CTC rotations and as we do training exercises, they continue to do those together. So there's recent ones coming up where we have Colorado and their state partners and other states meeting up with their partners to train together. And so that capacity building around the globe and trust is just priceless.
Thank you. Senator Bozeman.